Chosen one, pause everything and listen, because what is entering your life in this exact moment is not coincidence, not imagination, and not some passing feeling. This is a message from God, breaking into your atmosphere with perfect divine alignment, arriving at the precise second your spirit finally opened enough to receive what was once blocked from reaching you. This message has found you because something inside you has shifted, your heart, your energy, your inner world, and heaven has responded to that shift. You are the chosen one, and God is speaking now with purpose, timing, and truth that refuses to be ignored. Chosen one, hear this clearly. Someone you have never met is praying for you right now. Their face is hidden, their name unknown, their voice silent to your ears, yet their spirit is lifting your name before God with accuracy, with intention, with a divine calling they cannot ignore. This intercession is proof that your journey has reached a supernatural turning point. God has assigned extra protection, extra guidance, and extra favor to surround you in this season. You are being covered, carried, and supported by a force you cannot see, but your soul can already feel it rising around you. If you feel this message resonating, if your spirit recognizes this truth even before your mind processes the words, comment 777 as a sign of alignment, because this moment is a spiritual awakening unfolding right where you are. There are no accidents in the spirit. There are only divine appointments, and this is one of them. Chosen one, you have felt things shifting around you. You have sensed energies closing, doors ending, chapters dissolving, and invisible tides pulling you towards something greater. But what you may not have known is that while you walked through struggle, doubt, or isolation, heaven assigned someone to intercede for your strength. God placed your name in the atmosphere of someone who carries spiritual authority. Their prayer is the reason a sudden calm found you when fear tried to suffocate you. Their intercession is the reason certain battles ended before you even realized they had begun. Their spiritual covering is the reason you were protected from what the enemy hoped would destroy you. This message is a confirmation that your divine calling has already activated forces in the unseen. You are stepping into a season of divine protection and favor, not because things have been easy, but because your journey has demanded a level of endurance that only the spiritually chosen ever experience. You have walked through inner war. You have felt the weight of invisible battles. You have been attacked for your light, opposed for your purpose, misunderstood for your destiny. Yet you are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still rising. And now, God is revealing why the unseen prayers matter. They are shifting your path. They are breaking resistance. They are preparing the way ahead of you. Where you felt stuck, movement is coming. Where you felt blocked, release is approaching. Where you felt alone, you are being reminded that heaven has never left your side, not for one single moment. Chosen one, circle back to the beginning. Hear the truth again. This is a message from God, not a thought, not a coincidence, not a random video. You are not imagining the pull in your spirit. You were called. You were chosen. The war you feel is real, and it is happening because your light is necessary. Your existence is purposeful. Your journey carries weight in realms you cannot see. The enemy recognized your potential long before you did, but God recognized your identity before you were even born. So rise now, not in fear but in power. Rise in clarity, rise in awakening, rise in the full knowing that unseen prayers are working behind the scenes, and divine favor is preparing to manifest in ways your heart is finally strong enough to receive. You are the chosen one, and nothing can dim what God has ignited within you. The invisible realm of intercession. Chosen one, There is a realm that cannot be touched by human hands or perceived by ordinary eyes, yet it shapes everything that unfolds in your life. This is the invisible realm of intercession, the spiritual dimension where prayers are stirred, whispered, carried, and activated long before your conscious mind realizes that you are in need. Intercession is not simply someone praying for you. It is a divine prompting, a spiritual burden placed on a heart that is aligned with heaven. It is God moving through those who are sensitive enough to hear His voice, feel His pull, and respond to His urging on behalf of another soul. And you, chosen one, are often the reason someone suddenly feels led to pray without knowing your name, your face, or your story. Intercession begins in the spirit, before it manifests in the natural. Long before trouble approaches, long before confusion rises, long before the enemy makes a move, God speaks to the heart of someone connected to divine frequencies. They may be a stranger living across the world, a distant relative you barely know, a spiritual elder who senses shifts in the atmosphere, or even an angel assigned to your destiny. When God stirs intercession, it means something is being shifted, prevented, or aligned on your behalf. It means heaven has placed your name on a spiritual agenda because your journey is too important to be left uncovered. As the chosen one, you are not just living a physical story, you are moving through a spiritual destiny that carries weight, purpose, and influence. Because of this, your life attracts battles, but it also attracts divine protection. The prayers that surround you are not random or coincidental. They are activated because your spiritual calling demands it. Before you fall into a trap, a prayer rises. Before an attack reaches you, a covering is placed. Before the enemy whispers a lie, someone's spirit cries out for your strength. Intercession is heaven's way of ensuring that you never walk alone, even in the seasons when you feel abandoned. Many do not realize that the strongest prayers over their lives often come from people they will never meet. God will place your name in the heart of someone who knows how to pray with fire, authority, and accuracy. He will stir the spirit of someone who understands the weight of warfare. He will nudge the soul of someone who carries prophetic sensitivity. These are the individuals who feel an unexplained heaviness and suddenly whisper, "God, cover them." They do not need your details. Heaven already knows them. They do not need your explanation. Their spirit already feels the urgency. You are covered not because you asked, but because God commanded. Sometimes intercession comes from a grandmother who passed years ago, whose prayers are still echoing in the atmosphere because spiritual words never die. Sometimes it comes from a distant relative who sensed something about your energy without fully understanding why. Sometimes it comes from a spiritual mentor who feels a shift in the environment and calls your name in prayer even though they haven't spoken to you in months. And sometimes it comes from angels, beings of light assigned to your journey, who stand in the gap when human voices fall silent. Angels intercede not with words, but with protection, with resistance against darkness, with divine intervention when danger tries to approach. Chosen one, the presence of unseen intercession is not ordinary. It is a sign of spiritual rank. It means heaven recognizes your destiny. It means your purpose is too significant to be left unguarded. It means you carry a light that must stay ignited because it influences others, even if you don't realize it yet. Those who carry divine assignments always attract divine coverage. God does not send intercessors to the spiritually insignificant. He sends them to those whose lives are shifting timelines, lifting generations, and breaking cycles. The prayers over your life are evidence of divine favor. Favor means you are protected even when you are unaware. Favor means heaven intervenes before you cry out. Favor means your name is lifted into divine spaces where decisions are made about your future. When someone is suddenly moved to pray for your peace, it is because your spirit is valuable. When someone is stirred to pray for your breakthrough, it is because your destiny holds power. When someone intercedes for your protection, it is because your light threatens the darkness that once hoped to control you. This invisible realm of intercession is proof that you are never forgotten, you are never unguarded, you are never without spiritual support. You are covered because you are chosen, you are protected because you are called, you are prayed for because heaven has marked you with purpose. And every unseen prayer rising in your name is shaping the path ahead of you, clearing obstacles, softening hearts, opening doors, and strengthening your spirit for everything God has destined you to become. Why someone is praying for you right now? Chosen one, hear this with clarity. Someone is praying for you right now because your life is shifting into a new chapter of destiny, and heaven will not allow you to enter this next season unprotected. God has awakened someone's spirit on your behalf because what you are stepping into carries weight in both the natural and spiritual realms. You may not recognize it fully yet, but your atmosphere has changed. Your path has aligned. Your calling has intensified. And when a chosen one nears breakthrough, the spiritual world becomes alert. Heaven becomes active, the enemy becomes agitated, and God responds by raising a human vessel to stand in the gap for you. This person did not plan to think of you. They did not sit down with the intention of lifting your name. They simply felt it, a sudden burden, a pull in their chest, a whisper in their spirit that said, "Pray now." They felt something move inside them, something that did not originate from their own concern or imagination. This was a divine nudge, a spiritual activation placed directly into their heart by God. They might not know your story. They may not understand why your name flashed across their mind, but heaven knows exactly why this intercession was necessary. Someone is praying for you because you are transitioning. You are crossing from one spiritual level to another. You are leaving behind an old vibration, an old version of yourself, an old timeline that no longer fits who you are becoming. When this level of transformation occurs, resistance rises. Spiritual warfare intensifies not because you are weak, but because you are becoming powerful. The enemy senses movement. He senses elevation. He senses that you are stepping into a dimension where old chains can no longer hold you. And whenever breakthrough approaches, spiritual pressure increases. This is the logic of the unseen realm. The closer the chosen one gets to destiny, the louder the warfare becomes. This is why God activated someone's spirit. You needed a shield at the exact moment you felt nothing but exhaustion. You needed covering at the exact moment the battle around you started shifting. You needed spiritual reinforcement at the exact moment you began approaching a door you were destined to walk through. You are not being prayed for by accident. You are being prayed for by assignment. Someone is praying for you because your destiny affects more than just you. You carry influence even when you do not see it. You carry healing even when you feel broken. You carry wisdom even when you doubt yourself. You are the type of soul whose presence changes atmospheres, whose words shift emotions, whose energy awakens others. You have a divine mission that stretches beyond your current understanding, a purpose that reaches into the future in ways you are only beginning to grasp. This next chapter of your life will impact people you do not yet know, places you have not yet reached, and opportunities you have not yet imagined. Heaven is preparing you for a larger assignment, and that requires spiritual support. This is why someone felt a sudden heaviness and began praying without knowing why. Their spirit recognized the urgency. They sensed the weight of the moment. They felt the invisible warfare. They felt the shift in your destiny timeline. They felt the need to stand in the gap so you would not walk into this transition spiritually uncovered. Someone is praying for you because you are important in realms you do not see. To heaven, your life is not accidental. Your existence is intentional. Your journey is sacred. God has placed a seal of purpose on you, and that mark draws both divine favor and spiritual opposition. And in seasons where the opposition tries to rise, God responds by lifting a voice to call down protection, clarity, and strength over your life. Someone is praying for you because you are stepping onto a battlefield. You are meant to win. Breakthrough requires a push. Miracles require alignment. Destiny requires spiritual backing. And God will not let you fight alone. He will send a person whose spirit is sensitive enough to hear him. He will send someone whose heart is open enough to feel the burden. He will send someone whose faith is strong enough to call heaven into your situation. This is your hidden protection, the shield you did not see but have always felt, the covering that quietly surrounds you in moments you could not control. Someone is praying for you because God has chosen you, and when you are chosen, you are never unprotected. You are never abandoned. You are never spiritually exposed. The prayers rising for you are evidence that heaven is involved in your story. They are signs that your purpose carries power. They are confirmations that your destiny is unfolding exactly as God designed. Chosen one, understand this truth deeply. You are being prayed for right now because you are entering a season that will elevate you, stretch you, refine you, and bless you. And God has already ensured that you have spiritual reinforcement guiding you into it. You are not walking blind. You are not walking alone. You are being carried, supported, and covered. Someone's spirit has been awakened on your behalf because you matter to heaven. Your mission is important. Your breakthrough is near. Your next level is calling. And divine protection is already in place to escort you into everything that belongs to you. This is why someone is praying for you right now. Your spiritual awakening has been activated. Chosen one, your spiritual awakening has been activated, and the timing of this activation is not accidental. When someone begins praying for you in the unseen, it is often because your spirit has entered a new phase of awareness, transformation, and elevation. External prayers and inner awakening move together like two divine currents flowing in the same direction, aligning your life with God's plan in ways you may only now be beginning to understand. When heaven stirs someone to pray, it is because your soul is opening, your perception is shifting, and your divine calling is evolving into a higher dimension. Nothing about this is coincidence. You are stepping into a new spiritual frequency, and those prayers are surrounding you to guide, strengthen, and stabilize your ascent. Chosen one, the moment your spiritual awakening activates, everything inside you begins to change. Your inner senses sharpen. Your emotional landscape becomes more sensitive. Your intuition becomes louder, more precise, more undeniable. You start noticing patterns that were once invisible. You feel energies you could not previously interpret. You sense when something is off, even before evidence appears. You feel when something is about to enter your life, even before anything visible shifts. These are not random sensations. They are signs of your spirit awakening and expanding into its divine calling. In this awakening, you may notice emotional signs rising unexpectedly. Tears come without clear reasons. Old wounds surface so they can finally heal. Certain people suddenly feel distant while others start appearing in your life with divine purpose. You might feel a strange mix of peace and restlessness, as if something deep inside you knows you are being prepared for more. That is because you are. Your spirit is shedding old layers, old fears, old attachments, and old versions of you that no longer align with who you are becoming. These emotional movements are not weakness. They are spiritual signals that your frequency is changing. You may also feel intuitive signals growing stronger. You sense danger before it arrives. You feel guided towards certain choices without knowing why. You hear internal warnings or encouragements that you know are not coming from your own mind, but from a deeper, higher source. You begin waking up spiritually, receiving glimpses of truth, clarity, and alignment that did not make sense months or even weeks ago. This is what happens when heaven elevates someone with a divine calling. Your soul becomes more aware, more connected, more attuned to God's voice and guidance. Chosen one, your awakening is happening in perfect divine timing. You are in a season where God is aligning moments, rearranging circumstances, shifting hearts, and orchestrating experiences that push you toward your true path. You may notice synchronicities appearing everywhere: numbers, messages, dreams, unexpected encounters, sudden opportunities, intense inner pullings. These are divine timing moments, signals that your journey is under heavenly supervision. When the chosen one awakens, nothing unfolds by accident. Every moment carries purpose. What you may not fully realize is that the prayer covering around you is strengthening everything that is awakening within you. Someone's intercession is protecting your clarity, shielding your sensitivity, and clearing the spiritual air so you can hear what God is trying to reveal. Their prayers create spiritual space around you, removing interference, quieting distractions, and softening the emotional turbulence that can arise during awakening. When someone prays for you in this sacred season, they are helping stabilize the inner transformation so you do not drown in the intensity of it. Your divine calling is evolving. The mission within you is awakening. You are not the same person you were yesterday. You are being shaped into someone with deeper insight, stronger intuition, greater wisdom, and a more aligned sense of purpose. You are beginning to see not just with your eyes, but with your spirit. You are beginning to feel not just emotionally, but prophetically. You are beginning to understand not just intellectually, but spiritually. This activation is why you may feel a mixture of excitement and uncertainty. It is why you may feel pulled toward new things while feeling pushed away from the old. It is why your spirit feels alive in ways it hasn't before. You are being prepared for elevation, not just external elevation, but inner elevation, soul elevation, identity elevation. Your awakening is preparing you to step into the next chapter of your destiny with strength and spiritual maturity. Chosen one, trust this process. You are not imagining the shifts inside you. You are experiencing a divine transformation supported by heavenly intercession. Someone's prayers are reinforcing your spirit, anchoring your awakening, and guiding you through a threshold that will change your life. This activation is sacred. This awakening is intentional, and you are being spiritually prepared for everything God has aligned for your future. Divine protection surrounding the chosen ones. Many of the battles you think you survived by luck were actually blocked long before they reached you. Many of the people who walked away were removed before they had the chance to damage you. Many of the setbacks that seemed painful in the moment were actually redirections created to protect your destiny. As the chosen one, you are watched over in ways you rarely perceive because your purpose is too significant to be left unguarded. Chosen one, there are layers of divine protection surrounding your life, layers so intricate and powerful that you often only recognize them after the danger has passed. after the heartbreak was avoided, after the betrayal was exposed, after the wrong door closed. God protects his chosen ones in ways the human mind cannot fully comprehend, and much of that protection is invisible until the moment of reflection. You are not walking through this world uncovered. You are moving with a shield that goes before you, behind you, and around you. God guards you through intuition, through interruptions, through redirections, and through the prayers of others, especially the ones you never knew were praying. Divine protection also appears through redirections. You wanted one thing, and life unexpectedly pushed you towards something else. You didn't realize it, but you were being positioned for blessing, favor, and growth that could not be found in the direction you originally chose. Redirections are God's way of saying, what you expected is too small for the destiny I'm preparing. Every time you were rerouted, every time something forced you to shift directions, every time a plan collapsed only for something better to appear later, you were witnessing divine protection in action. Redirection is not rejection, it is guidance. It is God pulling you away from what would have drained you, distracted you, or destroyed you. Another layer of divine protection comes through interruptions. There were plans you tried to pursue that suddenly fell apart. There were relationships you wanted to hold on to that collapsed without your permission. There were meetings, moments, and opportunities that slipped away despite your effort. At the time, it felt like loss or disappointment, but now you can see the truth. Some interruptions were God's way of preventing you from walking into harm. He changed the timing to save your spirit. He delayed the process to protect your heart. He closed certain pathways because what waited on the other side was not aligned with your destiny. God does not interrupt your life to punish you. He interrupts to shield you. One of the first layers of divine protection God gives his chosen ones is intuition. Not guesswork, not fear, but a spiritual knowing. That inner pull, that sudden discomfort, that feeling that something is off. This is God's voice speaking to your spirit before your mind understands why. Your intuition sharpens as your calling grows. You've had moments where you couldn't explain why you didn't trust someone, why you avoided a place, why you suddenly felt the urge to leave or remain still. You didn't know it then, but heaven was guiding you. Your intuition is not random. It is a divine instrument. It is a warning system and a navigation system. It is the quiet way God protects you from what your eyes cannot yet see. But perhaps the most powerful and mysterious layer of divine protection is the unseen intercession of others. Someone has prayed for you, sometimes without knowing your name, your story, or your location. Their spirit sensed something about your journey. God placed your name on their heart. They felt an urgency to lift you into prayer because heaven saw an attack forming long before you ever noticed the shift. These prayers rise like spiritual walls, blocking weapons you never knew were aimed at you. Many dangers did not touch you because someone stood between you and the storm. Many betrayals were exposed because someone asked God to reveal the truth. Many setbacks were prevented because someone prayed for your peace, your clarity, your safety, your breakthrough. Divine protection rarely feels like protection in the moment it is happening. It often feels like confusion, delay, loss, or painful separation. It is only later, sometimes months, sometimes years, when you look back and realize, God saved me. You see it in hindsight, when the truth becomes clear, when the hidden intentions of others come to light, when the reasons finally make sense. That is when you understand how deeply guarded you truly were. Chosen one, you must understand that prayer is not a wish. It is a force, a shield, a covering. Someone else's intercession has stopped battles that were designed to break you. Someone's prayer created a barrier that the enemy could not cross. Someone's voice reached heaven at the exact moment your spirit was vulnerable. This is why certain tragedies passed over you. This is why certain storms dissolved before they reached your door. This is why certain people left your life before they could cause destruction. You were protected because someone stood in the gap. God's protection surrounds you like a fortress. You are guarded. You are covered. You are never alone. And chosen one, this same protection continues around you even now. You are not walking forward uncovered. Heaven has already gone ahead of you. Your intuition is sharpening for a reason. Your interruptions are happening with purpose. Your redirections are carrying you toward destiny. And someone is praying for you even at this very moment, securing your path, strengthening your spirit, and shielding your journey. You are protected, not because you are perfect, but because you are chosen, not because you are without flaws, but because you carry divine purpose, not because you never struggle, but because your destiny influences generations. The person God assigned to cover you. This intercessor is someone who has walked through enough spiritual warfare to recognize the signs when another chosen one is approaching breakthrough. They may have carried similar battles. They may have survived seasons of deep transformation. They may have faced darkness that sharpened their discernment and strengthened their faith. Because of this, they understand the burden God places on them when He calls them to pray for someone whose destiny is under heavenly construction. They know what it means to be awakened in the night with a heaviness in the chest that is not their own. They know what it means to pause suddenly in the middle of their day because God urges them to pray for someone they have never met. They are obedient to these promptings because they have learned that divine nudges are never meaningless. Chosen one, the person God has assigned to cover you in prayer, is not ordinary. They are spiritually sensitive, deeply attuned to divine frequencies, and trained through their own journey to recognize when a soul is carrying a heavy mantle. This person may not know your face, your story, your age, or your background, yet they feel the weight of your spirit as if it were their own. They are connected to God in a way that allows them to sense spiritual shifts before they become visible, and when God whispers your name into their heart, they respond without hesitation. This is the one interceding for you, the one standing in the gap at moments you never knew were critical. Chosen one, this person does not need your permission or your introduction. They do not need your history or your details. In the spiritual realm, connection does not depend on familiarity. It depends on alignment. God aligns hearts long before paths meet. Your spirit and their spirit may have touched in ways your physical bodies have not yet experienced. You may have been assigned to each other's journey without knowing it. Sometimes God prepares support systems long before you notice the need. Sometimes He connects souls through prayer before they ever connect through conversation. This is the mystery of divine orchestration. He does His work in the unseen before revealing it in the seen. They feel the pull to pray for you because your spirit emits a signal in the spiritual realm. When you enter seasons of transition, elevation, or warfare, the frequency of your soul shifts. Sensitive spirits can feel it. Those aligned with God can sense the intensity of your calling, the battles surrounding your destiny, and the urgency of your growth. Even without knowing your name, your spirit emits a call that reaches the one assigned to you. And because they are spiritually mature, they respond quickly, covering you with strength, clarity, and protection. The intercessor God assigned to you is obedient, not because they are perfect, but because they have surrendered their heart to God's will. When He places a burden on them, they respond. When He gives them a name to pray for, they trust that name is tied to purpose. When He reveals a spiritual stirring, they move into intercession without hesitation. They have cultivated discipline through years of listening to God, understanding His signals, and aligning their actions with His voice. This is why their prayers carry weight. This is why their covering is effective. This is why heaven honors their intercession on your behalf. This intercessor is part of your divine preparation. They are not a coincidence. They are a provision. God has assigned them to pray for you so that you do not walk blindly into the next chapter of your destiny. Their prayers prepare the ground before you step onto it. They help soften emotional burdens you were never meant to carry alone. They help break resistance that would have delayed your progress. They help lift spiritual weights that could have overwhelmed your heart. Their covering is shaping your journey, even though you may never know their name. Chosen one, understand this. God does not assign intercessors to those without purpose. He assigns them to those with destiny. He assigns them to those who will influence others. He assigns them to those who carry light in dark spaces. You are being prayed for because your life carries significance, and heaven has ensured that you will not enter your mission unprepared. One day, your path may cross with this intercessor, or perhaps you will only meet in the Spirit. Either way, their role in your journey is sacred. They are the unseen support God has placed behind you, the spiritual guardian He chose, the obedient vessel who stands between your destiny and the forces that hope to hinder it. You are not walking alone. You are being covered by someone God trusted with your name. The battle that was fought for you in spirit. Chosen one, you have walked through a spiritual battle far deeper and more complex than you may realize. You felt the symptoms of it, exhaustion that made no sense, confusion that appeared out of nowhere, heaviness pressing against your chest, delays that seemed unnatural, sudden waves of fear or sadness, strange tension in the atmosphere, or moments when everything in your life felt stuck. These were not random emotional shifts. These were signs of warfare happening around your spirit. What you could not see with your natural eyes was being fought in the invisible realm. And the truth is this: someone's prayers weakened the attack, broke the stagnation, and lifted the heaviness that tried to settle over your destiny. Spiritual warfare is not a dramatic concept. It is a real conflict that happens when darkness tries to interfere with the path God has prepared for a chosen one. The enemy cannot steal your destiny, but he will try to delay it. He cannot stop your purpose, but he will attempt to confuse you. He cannot silence your calling, but he will attempt to weigh you down with emotional or spiritual heaviness. Warfare is not always loud. Sometimes it is silent resistance. Sometimes it appears as fatigue, discouragement, blocked opportunities, or unexpected chaos. But behind every moment of tension lies a deeper truth. Your spirit was being targeted because your elevation was approaching. Chosen one, the battle you walked through recently was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to distract you from who you are becoming. The enemy sensed your awakening. He saw the alignment forming around your life. He recognized that your spirit was preparing to rise higher, to see more clearly, to move with more authority. And whenever a chosen one steps closer to breakthrough, spiritual pressure increases. The attack often comes before the blessing. The storm often comes before the open door. The heaviness often comes before the shift. What you felt was the pressure of transition. But here is the miracle hidden within your battle. God did not allow you to fight alone. He went ahead of you. He surrounded you. He placed someone, perhaps someone you have never met, on their knees for you. This person's intercession broke through the spiritual resistance that tried to block your path. Their prayers created openings where you felt trapped. Their voice lifted your name to heaven when your own strength felt low. Their cries weakened the attack that was forming against your peace. Heaven responded because someone stood in the gap at the exact moment your spirit needed reinforcement. The stagnation that held you still was broken. The fog that clouded your thinking began to dissolve. The emotional weight that tried to crush you loosened its grip. What you felt as relief was actually victory. What you felt as peace returning was the aftermath of warfare ending. Someone's prayer disarmed what was building against you. This is how spiritual warfare operates. Attacks begin in the unseen, and victories also begin in the unseen. Battles are fought through prayer, faith, obedience, and divine intervention. When God sends someone to pray for you, He is equipping you with reinforcement. He is placing power behind your spirit. He is strengthening you through the intercession of another soul who senses what you cannot yet see. You may not understand the full extent of what was fought on your behalf, but you felt the shift. One day the heaviness suddenly lifted. One moment your mind became clearer. One night you slept deeply after weeks of turmoil. One morning your spirit felt lighter, even though nothing external had changed. That shift was not random. It was the direct result of a battle that had already been won in the spirit. The intercession that rose on your behalf has shifted your destiny timeline. Things that were delayed will now move. Doors that were stuck will begin to open. Breakthroughs that felt distant will start approaching. The spiritual blockages that held you back have been removed. What was resisting you is now dissolving. What felt impossible is becoming possible. The enemy's plan fell apart because heaven intervened. This is why you are still standing. This is why you are still rising. This is why your spirit is awakening with new clarity. The battle was fought, and you won, not because of your strength alone, but because God surrounded you with divine assistance. Chosen one, understand this: you survived something spiritual before you understood what was happening. The enemy thought he could drain your energy, confuse your heart, and shake your confidence. But God sent someone with spiritual authority to call down protection over you. He sent someone whose faith was strong enough to confront the attack. He sent someone who declared victory over your life in moments when you could barely string a prayer together. God has gone ahead of you, clearing the path you are about to walk. The battles fought in the invisible realm were not wasted. They were preparation. They were protection. They were alignment. Walk forward with confidence. Walk forward with peace. Walk forward knowing that the battle you didn't see was already won in your favor. You are covered. You are protected. You are chosen. And heaven has already shifted the path beneath your feet. Chosen one, you are stepping into a season where you will feel lighter, clearer, stronger, and more spiritually grounded. Not because life suddenly became easy, but because the war that was once surrounding you has been defeated. The favor you are about to walk into. Chosen one, now that the battle has been fought and the atmosphere around your life has shifted, you are stepping into a season of favor unlike anything you have experienced before. This is not ordinary favor. This is accelerated, divinely orchestrated, spiritually backed favor, a flow of blessings that is arriving because heaven has aligned itself with your destiny. The intercessory prayers spoken over your life did more than protect you. They opened doors that were once closed. They cleared paths that were once blocked. They positioned you for opportunities you couldn't reach on your own strength. What was held up is now being released. What was delayed is now being delivered. What felt distant is now drawing near with divine speed. Chosen one, the favor you are about to walk into is the kind of favor that makes people say, "How did this happen so quickly?" You will not be able to explain it with logic. You will not be able to explain it with effort alone. This is favor that comes from God's timing, aligning perfectly with your obedience, your endurance, and the prayers that were lifted on your behalf. When God says the season has shifted, nothing can stop what follows. Every obstacle that once resisted you is losing its influence. Every delay that once frustrated you is being overturned. Every limitation that once held you back is being dismantled. You are stepping into a divine flow. You are about to see doors open without force. Opportunities that were locked will suddenly become accessible. Conversations you thought were forgotten will resurface with new intention. People who overlooked you will begin to notice your value. Situations that seemed stagnant will start to move again. The divine timing that once felt slow will now feel accelerated. Favor is gathering around you like a rising tide. Your spirit can already feel the change. The heaviness that sat on your chest has loosened. The confusion that clouded your thoughts has lifted. The exhaustion that kept you still is breaking. Clarity is returning. Peace is returning. Focus is returning. When the battle ends, the blessing begins, and you are crossing that threshold now. Chosen one, divine timing is now working in your favor. For months, maybe years, it felt like you were waiting for something you couldn't name. You felt the tension of almost, but not yet. You felt the pressure of close, but not there. That sensation was not failure. It was the building of alignment. God was synchronizing events, people, places, and opportunities, so they would meet you at the right moment. And that moment is approaching now.